Hey y'all, Gene Campbell here. So doing another one of our longer, around 10-minute videos here, letters from camp. It's kind of a recap here, and just for those of you unaware about what these letters from camp are, it's kind of a video diary, if you will, just kind of documenting this whole process from weekend to pro style angler. And so yeah, I kind of try to get we just talk some straightforward truth here. I mean, no disrespect to certain areas or things or this or that. Just my opinion on some of this stuff here, and try to be as helpful as I can for anybody else trying to make this trip. Also for myself, I'm going to come back and look at these things, and try to go through it. So, nevertheless, for those of you that are not really interested in tournament level fishing, that sort of thing, this may not be a ton of interest to you. So you've been warned. But at any rate, let's go ahead and get her underway here. So I'm just fresh off of Truman. We're driving home. The next couple months here, it's going to be a little bit different for us. We are moving back home to Colorado now, from Minnesota out to Colorado in about 2 weeks. So yeah, that'll be a process. We're going to be off for a couple months from the tournament trail. Our next event is the 2-day super tournament at Lake of the Ozarks in late September. So we might try to pick up a derby here and there, or we might just, take a break from some of the tournament stuff and just go fishing and try to see if we can bring some stuff back. So, you know what, man, this is another one in our string of just really rough outings. Not gonna lie, I'm about freaking sick and tired of these rough outings. I've had a slew of them dating back to last season, at the middle of last season, all the way through. So about middle of last season, all the way through this season here, we've just been having results that are absolute garbage. Now, we've taken a long, hard look at each one of these events. We're trying not to get too, chicken little about the whole thing. The sky's falling, this and that. Try not to get involved in that. I've been around this sport long enough to know that, this is part of it. And so I get that part too. But not for nothing, man. The competitor inside of me, I don't really give a rat's behind about the reason. I don't like these results, man. I'm sick and tired of them. And so it's very frustrating. It takes some time to really have to calm myself down, find my focus again, and be there, because that walk of shame is something that, if I go out and we bust a butt and we feel like we showed out and did the best that we could, that is what it is. I'll take whatever result it may be. What, going out and blanking, that happens to even the greatest of all time in our sport, in competitive fishing. It happens to everybody. But when your normal result is just poor results, which is where we're at right now, there's nothing about that, man, that is going to ever rest easy on my brain. So we're just going to keep digging and trying to figure this stuff out. So this is the 4th event of the year that we've had. We had a couple on Table Rock, one at Lake of the Ozarks, and now this one here on Truman. Table Rock, our issues there, we had poor performance there, and our issues there is was twofold. Number one, lake familiarity. I didn't practice properly there, so my practice was kind of broke on how I did my pre-fishing, so I just didn't have a great understanding of Table Rock. Thought I did, but realized, no, you didn't. Secondly, at Table Rock, my issues there, I'm skill deficient in certain techniques that I need to really fish well there. And so to get confidence in those, I need more time to fish those type of techniques, to gain some confidence in those, so that I'm willing to go out there and work a little bit more extended periods of time, or be smarter about how I approach some of those areas there. So Table Rock, I feel like we understood what happened there. Lake of the Ozarks, when we first went there, my issues there were just pure, just being a dumb, insert your favorite word there, not being smart. That was preparation issues. That was also practice issues. So yeah, we understand that one. The Truman situation here, however, we really did approach this one after getting some sound advice from some people that know a lot more than I do. changed up my practice maneuverings on what I chose to do there. And I got to tell you, man, went into tournament day feeling really, really good. Not feeling good about what we had found for fish, but the difference here is I felt really good about the fact that you could change the weather on me, you could blow out the water, you could, muddy it up, throw debris, whatever you wanted. I was going to be able to go and change my game plan on the fly because I felt like I understood the body of water better. I understood many areas of the lake. That was the majority of my time practice, was getting to know my surroundings and my environment. So if I wanted to go fish a certain pattern or a certain style or something different, I could go find it because I knew where it was. I had already, spent my time doing that. Going into this, I also, coming into Truman, I had, the research that I had found leading up to this, there was a lot of talk about shallow. This reminds me of the line in Princess Bride, that this word you keep using, shallow, I do not think it means what you think it means. I suppose we all have a different definition of what we consider shallow fishing. And I've heard the guys say, well, this one should have set up that way, but for whatever reason this week it didn't. So maybe that's the case, but that wasn't shallow fishing. To me, that's just another Highland reservoir, man. Just the only difference here at Truman is a lot of freaking deadheads and trees in those coves, and you better be careful going through there. So, or you're just going to be tearing up, low-end units everywhere. Thankfully, we minded our P's and Q's, did what we had to do, and everything was fine. But, nevertheless, results came back crappy. You know what I mean? They just didn't work out. And so, at the end of the day, we got that's really what this boils down to. Out of all the lakes, I will honestly say in the Ozark, this is probably my least favorite, just because at least this experience, there was just nothing about it. You look at the results, man. I don't care how you want to paint it. This did not fish great. The winning bag wasn't even 15 pounds on the boater side. For a bunch of guys that live here, grow up around here, know this kind of stuff, there's, a ton of locals in this 180 boat field. That should tell you something. That's not, that's a workman's effort for sure. 15 pounds, that's a solid day. But, you would think Ozark country down here, you'd think, 20 pounds, 18 pounds, something like that. Dude, the top two co-anglers had more weight than the winning boater. They had 16 pounds or so and 15 pounds respectively. Yeah, so for whatever reason, this place did not set up super great, didn't fish super great for a lot of people. But nevertheless, it kind of is what it is, We're feeling better about our practice setup. What we're not feeling good about is the whole results page, right now. When you have these results that we have, it makes you really second guess what you're doing out there. So we're going to look really long and hard about next season. It's easy to fall into a line to say, well, we just got to fish this, fish that. We've got a game plan that we'll be announcing later this year where it's going to put us on the road, get a lot of good video content. We're going to go to some cool places, do some cool fishing. But the competition style is probably going to change up a little bit on what we're choosing to do, where we're choosing to spend our money, things of that nature. We will absolutely stay committed to the MLF and the divisions, the Big Five. There, that's the pathway. There's no question in my mind. There's no other pathway that is a cleaner pathway to get where we want to get, as far as what it offers for sponsors, what it offers for us personally, the scheduling, the travel. There's nothing, it can't even compete with what the MLF has to offer there. So for sure we're there, but what we're fishing, where we're fishing, how we're fishing, and when we're fishing is what we're going to be looking at closely. So this is not an easy gig, man. A lot of mental beating this is taking, and it has really made us second guess. We spend a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of sacrifice to try and chase this thing down. And so to constantly beat your head, and what it feels like beating your head off the side of your boat, man, I got to tell you, it really pushes you. And so you start second guessing some things and trying to figure things out. But we have, I've said this before, I have an amazing support system in my wife and my family. And the sponsors that I work with, the supporter companies, the partner companies that I work with have been amazing. And so I feel very blessed, very fortunate in those areas, and we're never going to lose sight of that. Very grateful for all that support that we get to chase this thing down. So we're going to go back to the drawing board a little bit. We're going to take a couple months off, get moved, get settled into the new place. We'll get hopefully some cool stuff we'll put up here. We're going to go check out some of those Colorado reservoirs out there, try to get some smallmouth fishing in, see what we can do. Meet some of the locals around there and kind of get connected in with that stuff. And yeah, man, hopefully we'll be settled in. We'll be ready by September to go close out the season here. So as always, guys, I really do appreciate everything you guys do for us. I hope some of you folks out there find these letters from camp valuable in some fashion form. If you don't, that's cool too. If you got any questions, anything you'd like to throw there, throw it down in the comments down below. Give us a subscribe, give us a like. And always, as we maintain, tight lines means good fortune with your fishing out there, and be safe. Be smart. Don't choose dumb over being safe. Talk to you later, guys.